2022 has already been a great year for games, with everything from ambitious spin-offs and much anticipated sequels to glitzy remakes and indie passion projects. There's already been a bounty of must-play titles on PS5, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and beyond. Even with pandemic delays impacting the quantity of games making it to release, the quality of the games that have made it into our living rooms has been consistently high. Check out these 10 latest video games of 2022. 10. Neon White. If you're furious with a friend, colleague, or significant other, there's a chance it's because of this game. Neon White has reinvigorated the chase for top leaderboard spots and reinforced the importance of milliseconds, because sometimes a millisecond is all it takes to climb to one spot higher than your friend. Developer Ben Esposito of Angel Matrix has called Neon White a smoothie of inspirations, one that pulls as much from friction-defying Counter-Strike surf maps as it does from gravity-defying Half-Life and Quake jump maps. Neon White is also, in a small but important way, a deck-building card game. If this is a smoothie, then it is equal parts sweet, tangy, satisfying, and also dripping down your face, because in the time it took you to read this paragraph, your friend has just beaten your score again. That Neon White can be so elegant and simple while also imparting such strong grudges and woefully cramped wrists is quite the achievement for a game about jumping from one platform to another. 9. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. When Foot Clan soldiers aren't barreling by on motorbikes or in cars, they're manning the cash register at a pizza joint before flinging themselves into the action while wielding shopping bags as deadly weapons. Shredder's Revenge is loud and chaotic, but never so much that it's distracting, making it an absolute blast of an homage to a series of classic games. It's relatively short, but with 7 characters, the 4 turtles plus April O'Neil, Splinter, and Casey Jones. There's a lot of value in replaying the levels and mastering each character's moves. And while it's faithful to its predecessors, it's decidedly modern, with more satisfying combat against hordes of enemy soldiers and character upgrades to boot. 8. The Quarry. Developer Supermassive Games has carved out a space for itself by trading on horror tropes. Its breakout hit Until Dawn put a group of vacationing teenagers through the ringer in a remote mountain cabin, a decaying sanatorium, and an abandoned mineshaft before the Dark Pictures anthology jumped from a boat at sea to a creepy Midwestern ghost town to a desert tomb. And now we have The Quarry, a terrifying wilderness romp that touches on all of the corny traditions of one of America's original horror settings, the sleepaway camp. In keeping with Supermassive's previous games, The Quarry puts you in control of a group of characters, in this case, 9 camp counselors who are stuck at the camp an extra night as they explore the scenery and do their best to survive when things get hairy, when things get potentially lethal. While player input is limited almost entirely to walking, binary character choices, and basic QuickTime events, it's a testament to Supermassive's craft that it can make a search for a duffel bag as compelling as a horrifying encounter with otherworldly creatures, an innocent kiss as momentous a decision as pulling a trigger. 7. Sniper Elite 5. It's easy for the uninitiated to write off the Sniper Elite franchise as a hyper-violent, Nazi-killing X-ray gore fest. It is that, yes, but it's also a paragon for excellent level design, and Sniper Elite 5 continues that trend. In fact, it features some of the best sandbox missions I've ever played. They sprawl across mine-riddled beaches, bucolic wineries, and coastal chateaus, capitalizing on every chance to give you a sightline, however narrow, to the next soon-to-be shattered Nazi skull. This was no easy task, considering that the newest outing brings the franchise to World War II-era France, quite possibly video games' most rote destination. But developer Rebellion Developments has found new ways to make the beaches of Normandy exciting. There are elements of IO Interactive's Hitman trilogy on display here, as the roguish Carl Fairborn is forced to sneak into bunkers and cobblestone alleys, trading his trusty sniper rifle for a silenced handgun and close-quarters know-how. There are also abundant reminders of Arcane's Dishonored games, with multiple approaches to every objective ranging from non-lethal to what I can only describe as very lethal. 6. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. The Stanley Parable is the most 2013 video game. You play as an office drone who steps away from repetitive days of data entry to wander the hallway of a mysterious office complex that branches like the pages of a choose-your-own-adventure book. It's a walking simulator. It's satire. It's a cheeky lampoon of video game storytelling, the limitations of player agency, and its serious contemporaries fixated on games as art. This is to say that the Stanley Parable was a video game about video games, from a period when the medium was at its most self-conscious and navel-gazy. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is the most 2022 video game. You play as an office drone who steps away from the repetitive days of data entry to wander the hallway of a mysterious office complex that branches like the pages of a choose-your-own-adventure book. But then you find new content, TM. It's a requel, it's a post-mortem, it's a cheeky lampoon of video game monetization, the artistic limitations of mining intellectual property, and its audience-tested contemporaries fixated on games as a service. 5. Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Like Gears Tactics before it, Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters boils the XCOM formula down to its bare essentials before building it back up to something wholly its own. Demon Hunters put you in command of a team of Grey Knights, basically space marines with a strong streak of religious zealotry, as you travel around a star system on a spacefaring cathedral. You customize the knights, outfit them with ever-improving gear, and upgrade their respective skill trees in an effort to synergize the perfect murder squad and stem a spreading Nurgle plague. It's a testament to the skill of developer Complex Games that the turn-based combat is equal parts nuanced and bombastic, and for every explosion that rattles the screen, there's also a quiet moment of triumph as a Justicar gets to a downed teammate just in time to extract the whole team. 4. Citizen Sleeper. This text-heavy, tabletop-inspired RPG feels like a cerebral, melancholic answer to the broader cyberpunk canon. You awaken on the space station Erlin's Eye, in a body that is and isn't yours. Your consciousness exists inside a humanoid machine owned by the corporation Essenarp. To prevent you and others like you from running away, you were built with planned obsolescence. You have to take a supplement in order to survive, and your first goal is to figure out how to stay alive. From there, the Eye opens up, revealing stories of the people there and the power struggles that govern their lives. 3. Rogue Legacy 2. Rogue Legacy 2 is a celebration of heroes and their differences. Every new heir brings a unique flavor to their roguelite run, ensuring that no two routings are ever the same. One Valkyrie might utilize a pizza boomerang to slice their way through enemies, while the Ranger Descendant propels itself between platforms with flatulent intensity. In this way, Rogue Legacy 2 is unusually fresh for a roguelite, putting it among the greats like Dead Cells, Slay the Spire, and Hades, in a genre that usually asks players to follow a discrete path or develop consistent skill. Rogue Legacy 2 encourages you to find the joy in playing as unlikely heroes against uncertain odds. 2. The Iron Oath. Tiny but mighty, The Iron Oath is an early access strategy RPG that nails the basics and, thus far, builds on them wonderfully. The main storyline is about 10 to 15 hours so far, and the writing is functional, but the combat and management are rock solid. It all takes place in an unrelenting fantasy world on the constant brink of apocalypse, and the player runs a mercenary company. This entails keeping your troops both alive and happy as they work through dungeons, save lost souls, and fight back demons. The difficulty options are modular, and the game's UI is clear enough to ensure that anyone can get off to a running start. 1. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is as much about the evolution of the LEGO video games as much as it is about the story of the titular Star Wars family. What started as a simple series about pantomiming through old movie franchises has become a fully voiced epic spanning 9 movies. It features hundreds of characters, along with updated combat that brings depth to what was previously a hack-and-slash formula. It's also a charming delight that remixes some of the most iconic moments in cinema history to make them feel fresh, while still giving a player chances to play the famous Death Star trench run for themselves. For children just getting into Star Wars or the LEGO games, the Skywalker Saga is a smorgasbord of colors and magic, ensuring oohs and ahs and giggles on every level. But for their parents who grew up during a different generation of Star Wars and LEGO games, it's a thrilling adventure nonetheless. And it does far more than simply leverage nostalgia. Do let us know in the comments if you've played any of these. Thanks for watching.